doom, taka, doom, doom, taka, doom. Keep the song, the drum. Doom, taka, doom, taka, doom, taka, doom. Once, in a far, far away continent, there was a country that in the middle of the country there was a huge mountain. And at the base of that mountain, there was a group of beautiful people known as the Funga people. The Fungal people, since they lived there in the forest, they would cut down these beautiful trees and carve them and make drums. And every single one of them loved to drum, and they were great drummers. But not only were they great drummers, they were also very athletic. In fact, they would spend the day running, jumping, see who could jump the highest, who could run the fastest, who was the strongest. And that's how they lived. But because they were so competitive, they would often fight. And they would argue with each other about who was the strongest, who was the fastest. And you could hear them arguing, and their arguing would bounce off the mountain. Now also in this land, there was this long and lazy river that flowed all the way across. This river was slow, but it moved with a rhythm and a style. And on the other side, there was another group of people. They were the Alafia people. The Alafia people loved to swim, and they loved to play in the water, and they loved to fish. And they would take their canoes and they would paint the most beautiful pictures on their canoes. And every evening, they would come together and they would dance and they would sing and they had the best of time. But their music would waft across the river and go into the Funga camp and bounce off the mountain, and all they would hear were the songs of the Alafia people. And this made them even more angry. How are we going to sleep? How are we going to rest when they sing and they dance all night? I can't take it any longer. So the chief had his drummers call all of the people together. And as he sent out the message, they all gathered. And they said, we can't take it any longer. Tonight, when they start their singing, we are going to go and we're going to put an end to all of this noise. So when nighttime came, they were heading across the river. And when they put their feet in the water, all of a sudden the currents came rushing up under and started tickling their feet. And they began laughing and falling and having such a good time. And then the Alafia people came and they saw them. And they looked and they said, oh, you have come to join our celebration. And they welcomed them with a song and a dance. You ready to dance? And the song was simple. They came out. She she kule. She she kobisa. She she kule. She she kobisa. Kobisa langa. Kobisa langa. Adede. Kum. Adede. Kum. 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 And as they came out, they greeted them and said, "We greet you with our mind. We greet you with our lips. We greet you with our hearts. And we have no weapons." Well, when the Funga people saw them and saw how kind they were, and they were laughing so hard, they were no longer angry. And they weren't afraid. So they joined them together. And together, they began singing, and they began dancing, and before you knew it, they had the best of times. And together they sang, "Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe."
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
Keep singing.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe,
Oh,
Ashe.
y'all sound good. We need to record.
Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe. Funga Alafia, Ashe, Ashe.
We come to greet you, Ashe,
Ashe. We come to greet you, Ashe, Ashe. We come to greet you, Ashe, Ashe. We come to greet you, Ashe, Ashe.
Funga Alafia,
Ashe, Ashe.
Funga
Alafia,
Ashe,
Ashe.
as the people as the two villages became friends. It was custom every evening that they would come to the Laughing River and they would sing together, they would dance together, and they would become good friends. And these two tribes that were so different, found through dance, through music, through the arts, they were truly one people, and that